Point source pollution. Specific source of pollution that can be identified. Sewage pipes gushing sewage into a river. Non-point pollution. Rainfall moving across the ground, known as runoff. Carrying pollutants on the ground into a body of water. Fertilizers and pesticides being backed up from agricultural land and moving into nearby rivers and lakes. 3 types of major pollutants. Nutrient pollution. Some wastewater, fertilizers, and sewage contain high levels of nutrients. They end up in water bodies that encourage algae and weed growth in water. This will make the water undrinkable and even clog filters. Too much algae will also use up all the oxygen in the water, and other water organisms in the water will die out of oxygen starvation. Oil spillage. Oil spills will usually have a localized effect on wildlife but can spread for miles. The oil can cause the death of many fish and get stuck to the feathers of seabirds, causing them to lose their ability to fly. Ocean marine dumping. Again, think of rubbish we all make each day. Paper waste, food waste, plastic, rubber, metallic, and aluminum waste. In some countries, they're deposited into the sea. These waste types take some time to decompose. For example, it is known that paper takes about 6 weeks to decompose. Aluminum takes about 200 years, and glass takes even more years. When these end up in the sea, they harm sea animals and cause a lot of water animals' deaths.
The nutrient pollution comes from runoff to land in urban areas where lawn fertilizers are used. Oil spillage is released into the ocean from natural oil seeps on the ocean floor, or like the oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. And then ocean and marine dumping is garbage that is dumped into the ocean that comes from big businesses that have nowhere else to dump it. It also comes from the streets and landfills that get blown into sewers, rivers, or directly into the ocean. So the impacts of the 3 are having too many nutrients in the water, such as nitrogen-rich fertilizer, can cause huge algae blooms, such as the one in Lake Erie, which can be seen from space. And then for oil spillage, oils can be extremely devastating to the marine life surrounding, like the BP oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico, like I mentioned before. And then ocean dumping plastics into the ocean causes animals there to mistake it for food, causing them to suffocate and die horrible and painful deaths.
Ways to measure temperature. Temperature is a physical property of water that has a profound effect on organisms that live or reproduce in the water. Water temperature may enhance sensitivity to other toxic substances as well. To measure pH, water pH indicates the balance between hydrogen ions, which are acidic, and hydrogen ions, which are basic. A perfect balance of the two is at a pH of 7. To measure turbidity, you measure it by measuring the clarity of water, and as measured, it is a physical property, but a primary cause of turbidity is fine sediment suspended in the water column. And ways to measure pollutants. You reduce the use of herbicides, pesticides, and fertilizers, dispose trash properly, avoid direct dumping into water systems, proper sewage treatment and management, move towards more renewable sources of energy, add more taxes on oil and gas. And 2 laws governing water quality are the Clean Water Act of 1972, and it establishes the basic structure for regulating discharges of pollutants into the waters of the United States and regulating quality standards for surface waters. And the other act is the Safe Drinking Water Act, and it's a federal law that protects public drinking water supplies throughout the nation.